share this with those who miss it later. Okay, here we go. Empower Hour, Tuesdays at 12 with me, Dawn Gaden, and every Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I go live. And if you're local in Brighton, I meet at the Brighton Lighthouse. And we talk about empowering things. We talk about mindset and meditation and goal setting and the real reason behind goals and how to make life like the very best ever. And I know with it being the new year, many of us tend to focus on goals. We tend to really give our attention and energy towards goals. But I really want to talk about, it's not about the goal. I don't want to talk about the goals. Let's take a look at why do we set goals. The reason we set goals is based on how it makes us feel. If we get down to the nitty gritty, why do I want this thing? What am I setting this goal for? It's because of how it makes us feel. So we need to then take a look at how do we want to feel? And then how do we create how we want to feel? Because we can. That's what's so cool. We can create an emotional state that we choose. That's the exciting part. And that's when we gain our power back, is when we know that we can create our reality. We can consciously create a life that we love, a life well lived, and a life of love. And so today I really wanted to share about the 4 pillars of intenSati. That's my goal this month, and this is our series this month, is the 4 pillars of intenSati. And I think it ties really good with the goals, because it gives goals meaning, gives your goal a meaning. Like, why do I want this? Why is it important? Why do I want to wake up every day working towards this thing? It has to mean something, or we're not going to do it. The value of it has to be bigger than staying the same, or we don't get excited about it. And so when we take a look at those pillars, then we understand how to keep going forward, how to keep loving our life, how to keep feeling excited and having fun in all that we do. And so that's our goal today. We're just going to talk a little bit about that. I usually set aside an hour every week for Empower Hour. Sometimes it's less, depends how much we have to talk about, and it's never more, just 1 hour. So it just depends on the topic. So I'm going to share with you the 4 pillars of intenSati. I'm going to give you the affirmations and how to kind of use a new thought patterns to create how we want to feel. And when you come to class on Thursday night, that's when you get to learn the moves and how to actually activate the energy through movement. And then we're going to wrap it up, and I'll let you know about what's coming up, what to look forward to, and then we go from there. All right, sound good? Here we go. So the 4 pillars of intenSati, we talk about mindful, heartful, mindful, heartful, healthful, or physical, our body, healthy, healthful, and soulful, our spirit. So let me read you our affirmations. I am courageous. I am fearless. I am powerful. I am victorious. Mindful. This is pillar 1. Mindful. I am courageous. I am fearless. I am powerful. I am victorious. When you look and feel that state of being powerful, being fearless, the mindset of, I know I'm stronger than any obstacle that comes my way, we get this state, this mindset of, I got this. And that's the goal. That is the goal, to change the language, the thoughts, the stories we tell ourselves, so that we live an empowered life, so that we are on track and on purpose. I'm courageous. I'm fearless. I am powerful. I am victorious. And let me go back to fearless for just a moment. So I'm just kind of go with ideas and thoughts that come up for me. And if you have questions or comments, let me know, because it's always fun to have that conversation. Fearless. I know some people will say, Dawn, some things are just darn scary. And sometimes, like, fear is good for us. Sure, fear is good for us when it's in the right place. So I often will tell my clients, because often I work often with people who are stressed, anxious, and most people have a level of stress. We live in a very stressful environment. We live in a world that bombards us with chaos, and the fight or flight is on like constantly. And we need to calm the nervous system. We need to calm that fight or flight. We need to sort of like, and I say, turn it off until we need it so that we can live fully. You don't need your fight or flight until you need your fight or flight. You don't need to be in fear until you need to be in fear, right? You don't need to act from the state of survival unless you need to. So I usually say, if the house is burning down, your fight or flight's going to get you out of that house. It will turn on. That's when this fear state will activate you to survive. That's when we need it. Not when we're sitting in rush hour traffic. Not when we're engaging in a conversation with somebody and we feel the fight or flight, like we want to attack. We need to calm it so we can communicate clearly, effectively, with respect, with kindness, with compassion. So there's a place for our fight or flight. It's about survival. But when we can pause and go, wait, this isn't about survival. I'm not in a car accident. I don't need to be calling 911. The house is not burning down. Then I don't need my fight or flight. I need to be in a state of clarity, courage, strength, power, so that I can make the decisions I need to make. I can speak clearly from a place of empowerment, so I can be heard and I can be understood to the best of my ability. Okay? That's mindful. Pillar number 2, let's talk about that. Pillar number 2, I'm grateful, I'm appreciative, I'm accepting, I am free. This is Heartful. From the heart, I want you to think of, to break this up into the pillars, I want you to think of mind. We're going to have these thoughts that come across the film of our mind, right? These thoughts that come across. And I want you to think about these thoughts and feed those thoughts. I'm powerful, I'm courageous, I'm fearless and victorious, right? And then we go into Heartful, the heart, emotions, grateful, appreciation, accepting, freedom. Feel it. Feel the heart. Feel the emotion of those words. I want you to feel it. So we're training, right? I talk about meditation being the mind training tool. So this is all practice about training the body, the mind, the body, the spirit, the mind, body, emotion, spirit. Mind, body, emotion, spirit. Yeah, there we go. So we're training ourselves to be in this state of wholeness. I think that's a good way to describe it. So when we're talking about the Heartful, I'm grateful, I'm appreciative, I'm accepting, I am free. How does it feel? What would you be doing? What would it look like if you felt free? And I want you to be in that feeling, like bask in that feeling, savor that feeling of freedom, carefree, joyful, grateful, appreciating everything. Makes sense? Appreciation, gratitude, accepting, freedom, Heartful. That's pillar number 2. Let's go to pillar number 3, which is Healthful. Let's talk about the physical body. We are mental, physical, spiritual, emotional beings. So we live in a physical body, and the body is the vehicle for the mind. So how we think and how we feel shows up in how we show up every day, how we act, how we interact, the choices we make. So we make certain choices, right, about what we eat, who we interact with, how we engage, how we don't engage, how we activate the body, how we move the body. So I want to be aware of that, the physicalness of the body. I'm strong, I'm vibrant, I am healthy, I am at ease. So I want you to tune in to how the body feels. So as I was saying, when we tune into the heart, we feel like I'm a visual person, so I'll visualize the heart center is being, the heart center is a green color, emerald green, and it just glows, right? So when you're feeling love and kindness, like I just imagine the heart just go whoosh, like pulsing with this beautiful emerald green, translucent, bright color. Then when I go into this physical body, when I want to tune into my physicalness, I will tune in and let this energy kind of penetrate and flow all around me. And I'll notice like fingers tingle, My legs get softer, shoulders drop more. Softness in your smile, your eyes are soft, we're not scrunching up here. Softness. And so that's the focus, our intention. One pointed focus is when we're in the pillar three, the body healthy, strong, vibrant, at ease. So to feel the sensations within the body. Yes. Yes. Okay. Another tip too, and this ties in everything, which is really, really cool. Even the Soulful pillar 4, which I'll talk about next. When you close your eyes and you're doing a meditation, we turn our eyes, the physical eyes, up towards the third eye, which is up here. Eyes are closed, and then we turn them upwards towards the third eye. Yeah. It actually connects all those pieces of us, because when we turn the eyes, the physical eyes, up to the third eye, which activates the spirit, the mind and the spirit, and activates the energy, the emotional state of who we are, connects all of us. So it's a really cool practice. Whenever you're using meditation, when you close your eyes, turn them upwards towards that third eye. It's really powerful practice. Okay, next. Pillar 4, soulful, spirit, our soul. Now remember, we're mental, physical, spiritual, emotional beings. All 4 parts of who we are exist in here. And we have to nourish and feed every part of us. It's similar to, some of you may be familiar with what's called a wellness wheel. The wellness wheel is in the 28 to Elevate program I offer. 28 to Elevate. It's a wellness wheel, and it's like a pie. It's a circle wheel, and there's spokes, right? And between, the space between each spoke, so it's like a pizza pie. You could see it as that, or a tire wheel. In between the spaces are your important life aspects. Finances, health, friends, family, work, hobbies, vacation, anything. Fitness, food, nutrition. And we take this wheel, right? And we take a look at those pieces and see how balanced they are. And let's say our fitness slice was optimum, like so good. We would shade in that whole slice of pizza, right? So that whole slice would be shaded in. Now let's say finances. Finances were like at a 5, like halfway, 50% in balance, where we want it. So you shade in half. And now if you think about each piece, each slice shaded to one end or another, and it's like some are full, some are half full, some are empty, and you have this bumpy wheel, wellness wheel. So if we shaded them all in and they were all at a 10, you have a smooth wheel, and we flow through life easily. So we're always really moving towards balance, and all areas of our life we want to give energy to. But I want you to remember, we coat everything with fun and joy. It's not fun if we're not enjoying the journey. It's usually not worth it. We have to be able to pause and say, what's worth it? So I had an interesting revelation recently, where I had a beautiful vacation, right? Time off, enjoying the time off with the family, resting, sleeping, and starting a running program. I'm doing a half marathon with my husband in April. A lot of fun, love to run with him. And I got back to work and sitting in front of the computer, and the minute I sit in front of the computer to do emails or stuff, I could just feel this sense of anxiety or stress. Can you relate? And I thought, I'm noticing. Awareness is key, right? We have to notice. I'm noticing this. But emails have to be answered. Marketing has to be done on the computer. Scheduling has to be done. I do a lot of video calls like this. So I said to myself, what would be fun? So I'm going to focus on what's fun for me, what brings me joy. And so what I did is I created a schedule for myself, Monday through Friday, a schedule of when I see clients, when I'm creating classes, when I'm creating content, when I'm having just interactions, social media marketing, all the pieces, like all the pieces to work. So I'm just specifically talking about like a work schedule. Because, what are we doing? 8 hours, maybe give or take, of work a week. So we want to be joyful about it and enjoy it. It's a big part of our life. And it will affect how we interact with our family and our friends and community. It makes a big difference. So I was noticing, so I decided to create a schedule, and I said, okay, this makes sense to me. I have to see it. I have to see it broken down. And then it makes sense to me. Okay, this is when I see clients. This is when I'm going to be doing social media marketing and interacting and reaching out and saying hi to people. And here's when I'm going to schedule my classes and posts, and here's what I'm going to talk about. So it felt good to have this and gaps, and I did, very important, key, if you forget everything else I've said in this time, remember this, schedule in me time. I've noticed if it's not scheduled in, we're running around like in circles. So you have to schedule in that time to really give yourself what you need. And if it's not scheduled in, we sacrifice ourselves often for everybody else, all the things that we think are important. We're most important. We cannot pour from an empty cup, so we have to fill ourselves up first, okay? So there's that. Then I noticed, honestly, let's be really honest, I don't like answering emails. I spend more time clearing stuff out than I answering the important ones. And I always worry that I'm missing something. Did someone respond that I didn't take a note on? And did I get back to them? And so I had to ask myself, how do I really find fun in that? Like, that's not fun for me. And so I decided I had to flip it around. I will bring the fun and the joy into anything I do, no matter what it is. Here's an example. Oftentimes, when people have to sit down to do their bills, and I know many of us nowadays have auto pay, right? You don't even think about it. It just comes out of your bank account. And maybe you look at your bank account and then you go, oh, more bills are being paid or whatever. In general, the feeling behind paying bills is not so great. I took a course. I was in a program with Kate Northrup. It's called Origins. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. She talks so many pieces to our program. A lot about finances and building ease in your work life. So wonderful program. So she had said something that stuck with me it's still with me, so it's stuck with me. And I was one of those people who, when I would go to sit down and do the bills, I'm like, okay, I gotta put on happy music or put on something that's gonna make me happy, because when I would sit down to do bills, I was like, stress, I gotta write another check. And this was a while ago, as you can tell, because I was writing checks. And she had talked about she has a note on her basket of bills, or her drawer, whatever you have, that says, invoices for blessings already received. I'll say that again. Invoices for blessings already received. Think about it. What are we paying? We're paying for all those things we already have. The lights, the food in the fridge, the comfortable chairs and tables we sit at, our computers, the roof over our head, our heat. We're writing those bills out for things we have. And if we can flip it and go, oh, this isn't like painful. This is like, thank you. Gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for my blessings. Thank you. Changes the whole energy frequency of who we are. We have to pay the bills no matter what. If we want what we want, right? If we want to have things, we have to pay for them. Okay, it's just the way it is. So how do we bring joy to it? Bring fun to it. Bring excitement to it. Invoices for blessings already received. Like, isn't that gold? That's like the golden nugget right there. So in anything we do that we feel like, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do that, it's a blessing to be able to live my life, to show up today. to do what I love to do. I'm going to bring joy to this. So another too is oftentimes, I truly believe that's why I do what I do, is that I'm not a 9-to-5er, even though sometimes it feels like I'm my own boss. I set my own schedule and I do the work I love to do. And sometimes people will say to me, my clients will say to me, yeah, Dawn, I don't love my job, but it affords me the things I love in life, the time off to vacation, the nice car, the trips, the time with my family. Then you find that's the purpose behind what you do. So I know not everyone's an entrepreneur. Not everyone wants to work for themselves. Okay, you find what is your passion and find the purpose and the blessing in it, and you fuel that. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. That is what I have for you today. Here we go. So let's review. 4 pillars of intenSati: mindful, heartful, healthful, and soulful. And if you're still watching and you've been a part of what I do, but maybe you've missed what intenSati is, I'll tell you really briefly. intenSati. Intent comes from the word intention. Sati means mindfulness or awareness without judgment. Mindful intention, intenSati. I was trained in New York City in this practice. It's movement, mantras, meditation, music to create a mindset, a high vibe state of living. And so this is a practice of really turning up the volume on your energy frequency. And it's a practice I teach every Thursday at 6 in Brighton. So if you're local, come on to class. And we move. It's a high energy movement, low impact, with these affirmations that I read to you today, with movements, one movement, one affirmation, and we move with our breath into music, and we have fun, and we learn to create this energy, this state of being in everything we do. So we practice, right? We create this practice, being in a class with everyone, with people. We elevate our energy, we move together, and then we feel what it feels like to live in that state, that vibration. So we're going to take it out, because it is one way to, it's one thing to talk about how to create this high vibe state and how to recall what it feels like to feel confident or strong or happy or successful. But when we can practice it together, like this state, we feel it, and we create it. So, so come join the practice. So that's what I have for you today. And what I'd like to share with you is what's coming. So as we know, 2023 is a new year and people have goals and we're ready for new stuff. And there's something that's been on my list for a while, and it is evolving and showing up. And that's the cool thing, is when things just start to show up. I listened to Abraham Hicks, and I think it was one of those talks that said, create the state of who you are, this vibration, this energy frequency, so that what you desire finds you. And one of the things that I've been really excited about are retreats. And I have 2 retreats coming up that I really want to share with you. One is in Michigan. It'll be local this summer in July, and it's a retreat at a castle. And it's a business retreat for new professionals who really want to get clear on their purpose, what they're passionate about, how to kind of calm the mind to get focused in and find that vision, create that vision that they have, and then how to articulate it, how to really create in words. Like, so someone says, what do you do? What is it you love? You can say it. We're going to be working on that. And then also what to do next, right? So when you get fired up and you're like, I have this idea, I want to build this business, we'll have some business-minded expert to guide you and share with you how to fund it, how to build it, how to scale it. So exciting. And the second retreat I have coming up is going to be in Guatemala in October. It's a service vacation. Bonus to that is it's a tax write-off. We'll be doing some service. It's lights. We're not building roofs or putting up walls, but lighter service. We're going to be doing intenSati with the students, the kids, about 200 kids on the lawn. We're going to be freeing the turtles. Why can't I think of the word? Letting the turtles go into the sea. So it's a turtle releasing. That's the word. And then caring, serving the community, the local community of moms and kids. and it's with a nonprofit, Be Humanitarian. So those are the big things that are coming up. Keep your eye out. Going to be an amazing year to really live in your joy. Live in your joy. Live in your excitement for what it is you're doing, and being on purpose. And so again, it's not about the goal, it's about how does it feel. What is the feeling we want to create to fuel that goal, fuel the mission, fuel the journey. Fuel the journey. It's the journey, not the destination. All right. Have an amazing day, and I'll be back next week for some more Empower Hour. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.